but they're not very persuasive yet. Let me turn those up like that, so where it should be. Okay, do you see the picture of the tiger? 3/4 of the way down, the tiger's head. I'll show you them a bit clearer now, because there are several steps. So we started off colouring in the corners. Then we took a mirror image and put the corners together here, but notice this corner was not together. So then we separated them so that this corner was together, but this corner is no longer together. And when we did that, we coloured in the edges down here, put them both back to back, and we came out with 4 patterns. The head of a bird, a human face wearing a blindfold, with butterflies on his lips, something that looks like a tiger, and something that looks like a dog with a blindfold. But these are very inconclusive and not persuasive. So we need to do a little bit more research. I'll just blow them up again. There's the bird face. So the eyes, the nostrils, the beak. Then we have the human face with a butterfly shape on each lip. Now I know this. This is the god of ice and the god of... This is Venus. Venus was the god of ice in the morning, the ice crystals. Clahuis Paltikutli, his name was. And he wore a blindfold, and the blindfold was made out of the skin of a sacrificed victim. I know what I'm looking for, but you won't at this stage. I understand that. And we have the sun, the jaguar, and the sunspot cycle. And we have Venus in the morning, in the evening, Xolotl, the dog who was blind. He wore a blindfold and carried bones in his teeth. And if we look at the borders around the lid, we notice that all of the borders, when we put them together, has got these composites of the Mayan gods. But we have to line up these dots every time, exactly. And also another picture, when we put the borders together, is a picture of a bat. And the Mayas worship the bat as a god of fertility. So, if we take a look at that, and we say, okay, we've got some pretty nondescript pictures around the outside. It could be anything. It could be something from the grocery store. You say it's a dog with bones in its teeth. Who cares? Fine, okay. I'm going to have to ask you to look at this one now a little bit more closely, because what's so special about that picture? Now that is a difficult one. Apart from the missing corners, of course. Now, so I said, well, I don't know because I've never seen one before. So, okay, I'll start here. And this is what I did for 10 months. I started there, and I thought, what could that be? And I thought, I don't know, I've never seen one before. I thought, what could that be? Never seen one before. What could that be? Never seen one before. Eventually, I got to the last bit, didn't I? I had to start at the wrong end. And I said, what's that? That's a bit unusual. I've seen one of them before. That's a man. It's a man's head, that. Isn't that interesting? So I thought, well, I've not seen one of those before. It looks like he's got a banana on his nose. I've never seen a man with a banana. Must be a mistake. How can I get rid of the banana and make it perfect? Because we are born to make ourselves perfect. Easy. Don't need rocket science to work this out. I could get some scissors, but I haven't got any. It's 1,000 years ago, remember? Tipex. No Tipex. I've got this, haven't I? I've got that. I wonder if by using that, I could get rid of the banana. Yes, I can. Now, all I've got is 2 guys with their noses touching. Can you see that? Are you sure it's important? You can see it, okay. Let's have another look at the picture. What's so special about that picture? He's got a banana on his nose. What are we going to do? We're going to get rid of it. How are we going to get rid of it? We're going to use 2 acetates. So I'm going to selectively colour in these pictures now. And there are rules. It's like painting by numbers. They're very strict rules. I can fill in an area with colour, but I can't go over the line. That's cheating. So all I've done there is I've filled in a few colours, because it took me 10 months to find this picture of 10 hours a day. So I've just put some colours in there, and the same on the bottom. But it's just a load of rubbish. I've just filled in some of the areas. Now I know this part is the epicenter of this particular picture. There are more than 100 pictures in here, moving videos. This is the first one. Now what I'm going to do is, I've been told to remove the banana off his nose. There's the banana. There's his head in grey. There's the banana on the end of his nose. So I'm going to put another one now on there. Like so. And there we have the bat god. We have his eye, his nose, his mouth, and these dots line up. Line those dots up and then remove the banana off his nose. We have the bat god flying towards us. That is the bat god for the Mayas. You see that? And we have the bat god flying away from us at the lower part of the picture, which is there, with his wings open this time. And here we have 4 dashes. Dash, 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 which is 20. And we have 5 dots on the top, which is 25. This tells us there are 25 pictures in the border code. There are 20 corresponding to 25 pictures in the main part of the carving. So the bat god tells us that there are 25 codes in here. It's an index, a list of contents. Once we match those contents, we can find the hidden picture in the middle of the lid. For example, these were the 2 heads we saw at the bottom of the tomb earlier, Lord Macaw. And everything is crucial. This crack here is very important. This circle here is very important. Everything is for a reason. Lord Macaw has a high hairstyle here and a low hairstyle there. So you know this because these are in the tomb. So let's have a look at, once I've found the 25 pictures in the border code, and I've found 25 pictures in the middle, I was left over with some border codes that I couldn't reconcile. I found the bat in the border, I found the bat in the middle. I found this picture in the border, I found that picture in the middle. And after I'd gone around them all, I couldn't find a home for these pictures in the border. This picture says, small guy here, hands on his chest, bare feet, closed eyes, he's got a halo on his head, a sunspot magnetic loop. He's just sitting there, lying there. That's the man in the tomb, got to be, his hands on his chest. He's got a bird on his head. It's the eye, the beak, and his wings are open, like a bird coming down. We've got the sun god from the Aztec calendar. He's got a magnetic loop on his head. He's the sun. And we've got 2 ear shapes here. So what could it mean? To see the man in the tomb, look for a bird on his head. To see the man in the tomb with a bird on his head, look. To see the man in the tomb with a bird on the head, who is the sun god, put the ears together, opposite each other. So they're giving me instructions. So, there's the ear shape here. As I say, I'm sorry about the projector. I'm trying to move it so that you can see the best part. There's the ear shape there. This time the colours are more complex, but you can see the painting by numbers technique now, how critical it is to stick to the areas and not to spill over. It's just rubbish. There's nothing there right now. But I've been told to put the ears opposite each other. So first of all, I'll line them up to start off, just so you know there's no cheating. There's nothing there, just the original design with a few colours in it. I've been told to turn them over, put the ears opposite each other. There's one ear and there's the other. There's the 2 ears together now. And look for a bird on the head. Well, I can't see a bird on the head. But now I know there's an epicenter to every picture because I'm getting used to it. The epicenter for this picture, if we draw a cross right across them, is that little red dot. See this dot? So I'm going to put that red dot, now the ears are opposite, slide them across so the little red dot is on top of itself. Now I know it's an epicenter, so then it says, look for a bird on his head. So now I have to rotate it, and there we have the bird on his head. Little bird with a chain in its mouth. And there we have underneath the bird a picture of the